Или, ну вот Гуру Махарадж сказал, что сейчас, поэтому вы можете даже матушку Далата что-то пока сказать, и, наверное, он подключится, если
The
есть
Guru
что сказать.
Maharaj said he is joining right now, so maybe you have some.
Ну, вы предупредите, да, когда Гуру Махарадж уже подключится?
Yes, I can, but you will tell me when the Guru Maharaj
Я хочу
joins.
в первую очередь поблагодарить всех преданных, которые прислали свои данные, результаты санкиртаны. И этот марафон, конечно, он в первую очередь
I want to thank all the devotees who submitted that took place is aimed to make sure that everyone is inspired and that as many Sankirtan as possible is conducted, but at the same time, we must understand that each devotee, if he or she at least once went to Sankirtan, at least one book distributed, and other devotee helped to distribute to those who distributed. Maybe he is not on the top, but even if the devotee cannot distribute, it is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that each devotee is thankful to the mercy because it is the mercy. And what I was very inspiring. Sorry, so Guru Maharaj is turning on the sound, so he will be here right now. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept obeisances. All glories to your appearance day. I'm very happy to have such a chance to read out the Sankirtan results. Although, according to the tradition, Antaryami Prabhu is doing that. It so happened that this year he couldn't do so, and I'm his temporary substitution, and hope next year it will be as usual and he will read out the results again. And meanwhile, I want to say that this year we divided the lists. We have one list international, all countries are collected there, and in the other list there is Ukraine and Moldova, because we have a little bit more results from Moldova. And to see results of other countries in a more clear, distinct way, we decided to break it down. And of course, I will not be able to read out all the results because there are quite a lot of them. Devotees send them and they try to distribute. And at the same time, despite this fact, Guru Maharaj has the full list. Given that our time here is limited and to give the floor to other devotees to read out offerings, we will announce 10 devotees from international list and 10 devotees from Ukraine and Moldova list. And now I will start, I guess, with international list.
Занимает Матаджи.
Number 10 is in our list is Krishna Radha Mataji. She distributed 64 books for 128 numbers points.
Это уже очень впечатляющее количество книг, 541 книгу распространила. На 8-м месте читание Нитай.
Number 8 is Chaitanya Nitay Das from Kaliningrad. He distributed 140 books and 190.5 points. Next is Lera Voltseva. She distributed 409 books for 205 points. Next is Sankarshan Nitai from Kirov, 143 books. And next is Maheshwara Prabhu Das, 356 books for 324.5 points. Next is in number 4, is Acarya-nidhi who donated $1,000 for distribution of Bhagavad Gitas. Those were 200 of Bhagavad Gitas for 400 points. Next is Haladhara Das from Kharkiv. He distributed 1,112 for 634 points. Next, second is Avihotra Das from Tula, who distributed 708 books, and first one is Vishwambara Das from Kharkiv, who distributed 1,080 books and 19 points, 1,919 points. Guru Maharaj has the whole list, and those who I did not mention, Guru Maharaj will see in the list. Next list is from Ukraine, Moldova. 10th place is Mahamana Mataji, who distributed 100 Srimad Bhagavatams for 2,200 points. Next is Padkamala Das, who distributed 170 books. Next is Bulakesh Das, who distributed 608 books from Simferopol for 206 points. Number 7 is Vaishnava Das and Tilakini Mataji. Together they distributed 656 books. Next is Jiva Goswami Das, distributed 364 books and 354.25 points. Number 5 is Baranov Konstantin from Kiev, who distributed 526 books for 429 points. Gangadas from Donetsk distributed 904 books for 498 points. Next is Acarya Das from Kharkiv, who distributed 305 books. Number 2 is a collected result from Namahata of Arun Malochina and Tanushree Radha. They together distributed 1,560 books and collected 1,300 points. And first, number first is Mangala Bhakti from Klemensky. She distributed 2,100 books, 2,186 books. Please forgive me for saying Das and Mataji without order. Abroad, it's accepted that we say Das and Dasi. Please forgive me for my mistakes. Guru Maharaj has the whole list. Thanks again to all the devotees for the inspiration, for sending your results. When someone sends the result of one book, they say that I'm not a distributor, I'm not a book distributor, but I gifted one book to my friend. And devotees have faith that since they give a book, people who they give a book to can get in touch with this knowledge, and their gray and useless life will be changed to the better. Like Guru Maharaj was saying, that eventually perfection. I was allowed to read a story from book distribution. Some devotees did not mention how many books they distributed. For example, Yadaraj Prabhu from Moscow, he was distributed from the table, and he said that he did not count how many books he distributed. And another devotee, he doesn't ever count how many books he distributed and never tells devotees how many books he distributed. Also, there is Mataji from Sevastopol, Amrita Lila. She didn't count the number of books, so she was not able to say she distributed, but she presented a story that was offered to Guru Maharaj in a translated way. I will shorten it and will try to say what she meant to say. This December marathon, I went out for a few times in my attempts
Декабрь — это тот месяц, когда ты осознанно выходишь из зоны комфорта, пытаясь удовлетворить эти
please you and
стремления
Srila
твоего
Prabhupada.
сердца и
The
жизни.
month of
Возможно,
December
это
is the
какое-то
month when we try to
путешествие от сладкого до горького.
please our
Именно тот
spiritual
вид
master.
служения, где результат
And
будет абсолютно
this
непредсказуемым,
Sankirtan
зависит от
service is
внутреннего
both
алгоритма. Уже 4-й
sweet
год
and
преданные в
bitter.
нашем храме жертвуют книги на распространение
It's 4
бесплатной
years by
информации.
now that our temple is
Стоит
being
освободиться
donated
от самых
books
лишних
for
забот.
distribution.
А в этом году, как и в прошлом, не нужно было даже записывать, сколько берешь книг, поэтому и
This year we
подготовили
didn't even have to
распространенных методов.
write down
Там
how
все
many
было
books we took so that devotees can freely
Все эти
distribute books.
результаты
That's why we
милости,
didn't have a
желания
number.
и
All these
как служение.
results
Я
are
хочу тут
results of your
первый раз
mercy
проявилось
that I wanted to
философия.
submit
Все началось
to
с того,
you
что я
as
прослушала
an
вашу
offering.
лекцию по
I
Брихат
want to tell one
Бхагаватам.
story. Once I heard a lecture in Brihad Bhagavatamrita from
Она
you.
очень сильно произвела на меня впечатление.
This lecture
Произошло
has
также
really impressed
после
me.
декабрьского марафона.
And
Вот несколько строк из
this
лекции.
was a
Господь
lecture
Бог
about
нам не препятствует
December
независимости
marathon.
мятежных
There is a
души.
quote from this
Он
lecture.
возлагает надежды на веды и вайшнавов. Если обусловленная
The
душа
Lord
получит милость
does
вайшнава,
not
то
save
милость Господа следует за ней.
fallen
Но
soul of
приверженный
himself. He
Кришне
saves
милость
them through the
Господа
mercy of his
спасает обусловленную
representatives.
душу.
But
Я
in the
поделилась с преданными этим
eventually,
взглядом
it is
и
the Lord's
накопила
mercy that
идеи,
saves them.
опытом других вайшнавов, идеей разместить эти строки на
I shared my
QR
ideas with the devotees that we should
комментарий. Все очень быстро организовались,
put these
согласовали
ideas
с
on the
юристами,
billboard.
дизайнерами, собранной Лакшми.
The
Итогом
devotees
оформили биллборд с текстом и
united in their efforts to make such a billboard, and we put
составили ссылку на магазин.
verse 7:15-17 from Srimad Bhagavatam there, and we also included the links so that those who like can follow them and see more. And this billboard is located in a very where there's many people in the city. One more story that one person, he was impressed that we were so pure in our behavior that we didn't smoke or anything. And he wanted to donate us oranges.
с которых мы теперь делаем гирлянды для божеств цвет одежды, что является новшеством гирляндоплетения. Все фрукты мы отнесли в храм для божеств, чтобы
We brought all the fruits that he gave to us, to the deities, so that this living entity would get benefit. And we were chanting the mantra for his benefit. One more story from Marathon 2019. In one of the evenings, we went with the Matajis on book distribution. That day, I couldn't do anything. It was difficult for me to approach people. I started to pray to the Lord, asking for His mercy, and if He wishes, He can use me as an instrument. And also, I asked to send people who are ready to accept Lord Chaitanya's mercy. As a result, that evening, I had to draw maps of how to reach the temple. One young man stopped and he was interested. When I started to speak about the donation, he distanced and said that students do not have money. But I was persistent and asked him to look for something because it is not interesting to distribute books for free. At the end, he gave 100 rubles donation. I changed the book for a bigger one that was exactly for him. Then, after a short conversation, he was interested where the Lakshmi would go. I answered, I print to print these books and to distribute them. He became worried. Uh, I thought they would go to the children in the asylums who are in bad conditions. It is great that you are interested in unprotected layer of the society and such problems, something like this. But still, I would like they to go to charity to the children. The student was very happy when when this money went for charity to children, and he read the book. He promised to read the book. All the stories are from Mataji.
Спасибо, Матаджи Кундалата. И также традиционно проводится марафон в марафоне,
Also,
который
traditionally, we have marathon in marathon that is conveyed by Mataji Tilakini for many years now. And now there will be results of marathon and marathon for the 5 last days of December. I will be short. I will speak shortly.
Тхан или вкус нектара изоляции. Дорогой Гуру Махарадж, примите, пожалуйста, мои смиренные поклоны.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
Вся слава вам.
All glories to you.
Слава Шри Прабхупаде.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Разрешите, пожалуйста,
Please allow me to
с вашим днем
congratulate you on the day of your appearance, and one more time express my that I see you as a pure and uncompromising personality. I have never met Srila Prabhupada personally, but having met you, who is a genuine disciple of your spiritual master, we can realize the greatness and wonderful qualities of Srila Prabhupada that he carefully gave to his disciples. And also we can be sure that Srila Prabhupada is smiling very broadly, seeing your devotion to his mission. Last year's Vyasa Puja,
мы услышали слова, которые привели наши сердца в полное отчаяние.
In the Vyasa Puja last year, at your lecture, on 1st of April 2020, we heard the words that drove us to utter despair. Obeying health condition and prescriptions of your doctor, you said that you would not be able to travel as much as you did previously. When you went away previously, we always had a hope for the next meeting. But last year, Krishna left us alone with our dashed expectations. This is inconceivable sensation of boundless separation. Its beauty befell us. One would want to recite Lord Narayana's words, please fill your heart and ours and feel happiness both yours and ours by staying here forever. Unfortunately, it was not destined to come true. All we had left was a pain of separation, prayers for your health and well-being, and for impossible to become possible someday. A pure devotee is more merciful than even Krishna himself. By his compassion, he entered various situations, directly helping devotees to approach the Lord. But in that case, you did not interfere with the situation, and as it befits a pure devotee, completely surrendered to the Lord's will. Sometimes, wishing to fulfill his plan, the Lord interferes even when his pure devotees do not. And something inconceivable happened. A world-scale trouble and overall lockdown came. Krishna created conditions as a result of which, even if you had dared to travel, you could not have accomplished it. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, tells us that when Vrindavana devotees found themselves in trouble and helpless due to torrential rain sent by Lord Indra, Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill and saved all Vrindavana inhabitants. It could be seen by everyone that the calamity had been turned into mercy. None of us could suspect that the plight that afflicted the whole planet would turn into a special mercy by the Lord's will. Krishna has raised New Govardhan again, but now above us, by creating objective conditions for revealing your, dear Guru Maharaj, ingenious idea of online meetings. Obeying the will of the Lord, you pressed the button of a computer with a little finger of your left hand and manifested Krishna's mercy in the form of New Govardhan Online, which has become for us a complete shelter at your lotus feet in the hardest time. With what a degree of bitterness in our hearts we thought of ordeals in compressing the whole human race and of the pain of separation with our dear Guru. With the same degree of joy we entered the shelter of New Govardhana, manifested in online meeting and japa session. Just as Gopakumara gave the Brahmana from Mathura all qualifications and sent him back to Goloka, in the same way you, dear Guru Maharaj, by the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, who described the experience of Gopakumar, give us qualification, allowing to reach
Нашего общения с вами. Нам не доводилось почти каждый день воспевать с вами вместе святое имя, а в месяц Картика слушать ежедневно ваше нектарное пение Дамадарастаки.
Never before during year of association with you did we happen to chant the holy name together almost every day, and during Kartika months listen to your nectarian singing of Damodarashtaka, glorifying Lord Damodar. Now under the shade of New Govardhana, this has become possible. Dear Guru Maharaj, just as it is impossible to describe various transformations of in Vaikuntha, following desires of Vaikuntavasis to please the Lord, in the same way, it is impossible to express the infinity of our gratitude for your mercy and care so vividly manifested to us under the shelter of New Govardhan. By your tireless efforts, Krishna transforms our pain and anxiety into joy of association with you. For us, it is an inexhaustible source of growing faith, hope, and love. I pray to Krishna that he would always protect you under his new Govardhan, and that no pain capable of overcoming Srila Prabhupada and Krishna's surrounding protection, warmth, and care could approach you. Please accept warmth and care of our hearts into the aureole of your security as well. May only the things that bring you joy always expand and remain with you. May you always be in company with faithful, sincere souls, diligently helping you in your great service to Srila Prabhupada's mission. With great gratitude, I bow down to your lotus feet, your servant, Tilakini Devi Dasi. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. I want to thank you for continuing to inspire us for pure devotional service in this difficult time. Your Vaisnava Das.
Да. Спасибо. Это были подношения Матаджи
Thank you. Those were
Прабhu.
offerings of Mataji Tilakini and Vaishnava Prabhu. There was a bit of unplanned, something unplanned in our schedule. We have results as well.
Ага. Ну, наверное, надо тогда и результаты сейчас
I
включить.
think we have to read the results also, since they're not very long.
Дорогой Гуру Махарадж, примите, пожалуйста, смиренные поклоны и самые искренние
Dear
поздравления.
Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances and sincere your years of your book distribution increased your loyalty to Srila Prabhupada. Your own long stake in Sankirtan and grown up your devotion to Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, and also revealed and grown up your disciples and followers who are fighting at the forefront with Nirvishesha and Shunyavadi, Maya manifesting in people's heart. We had 12th marathon from 25th and to 32nd of December. In your disciples' calendars, these exact days are marked as days of your personal Sankirtana and your personal participation in Srila Prabhupada's marathon. Being an extension of Guru, at this time, disciples and followers are distributing Srila Prabhupada's books and offering Sankirtana results to you by putting it in the report of Sankirtana under your precious name. Your purity and devotion to Srila Prabhupada are strengthening faith in hearts of your disciples. This is the true source of stability, determination, and enthusiasm in the selfless service of your lotus feet. Please accept as a gift the results of the Sankirtana Marathon. So here are the results of the Sankirtana Marathon in which you always have been and remain the only winner. From 25th to 31st December, there have been distributed 2,075 books for 1,842 points. We humbly bow at your lotus feet, your disciples and followers, servants of the Sankirtana Lila of Lord Chaitanya. Sankirtana Yagya Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada's Marathon Ki Jai, Srila Niranjana Swami's Appearance Day Ki Jai.
Спасибо, Матаджи Тилакини.
Thanks to Mother Tilakini, and we'll continue the offerings. I would like to ask Mother Devaki to read her offering.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Before I will read my little offering, I just want to express my gratitude for this a little unusual but yet so amazing Vyasa Puja celebration. It has been very heart-moving to me, almost like a little visit to Ukraine. And I realized how much I've been missing the Ukrainian devotees. And yeah, I find Ukraine is just such an amazing yatra because it is really a manifestation of your energy, your efforts, your preaching power, your care for the devotees, your dedication to Srila Prabhupada. It can all be really felt in Ukraine. And I have just been so fortunate that for the last 20 years, I have been allowed to serve the devotees there and bathe my heart in your energy there. And I'm really, really missing it, actually. I became conscious of this today when I hear all the nice realizations of your disciples there. And also I started realizing how much love and devotion my God brothers and God sisters have for you, and how little devotion I have. So this has been very humbling to me and very heart-moving. I want to express that first. Yeah, so I will quickly read my little offering. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. on this celebrated day of your appearance in this world. All glories to your holiness, your sublime qualities and outstanding preaching activities. All glories to you and our beloved Srila Prabhupada. This last year has been a very unusual year for all of us, and it almost seems like Krishna arranged the perfect place for each and every one of us to get stuck during this pandemic. The fact that you have been all this time in Mayapur must be Radha Madhava's personal arrangements to fulfill your desire to spend time in Mayapur without being burdened by GBC meetings and managerial issues. And you are selflessly extending yourself to all of us by offering you classes over Zoom. Even though I have not been able to join them so regularly, nevertheless, I have been listening to the recordings while doing my exercises for my back. Still, those lectures cannot fully replace the sublime moments when we have your direct association. For example, at the Bhakti Sangam Festival in Ukraine or the Baltic Festival in Lithuania. What we have taken for granted in the past, namely being able to freely associate in large Vaishnava gatherings, has become now impossible. And we realize how important and nourishing such festivals have been for our lives. In this way, Krishna increases our feelings of separation from your divine association and teaches us now to relish and value every little Vaishnava association we can get, in the hope that the day will come when we will be able to welcome you once again in Ukraine, to witness your loving dealings and exchanges with your God brothers and senior devotees, to eagerly hear your lectures and join your blissful kirtans. This pandemic teaches us once again the priceless gift of the shelter which Srila Prabhupada has offered to us through Krishna consciousness. Non-devotees are bewildered and in fear of the coronavirus and the uncertainties which come along with the pandemic. For us devotees, it is once again a blessed opportunity to take more tightly shelter of the process of devotional service and to reach out to others and preach. With Srila Prabhupada as the empowered captain and the stalwart commanders-in-chief, such as Your Holiness and other sadhus of ISKCON, we feel very safe and peaceful in this transcendental boat which traverses these turbulent times. Some years ago, you gave me a personal instruction which has become a valuable guideline for the rest of my life. Just stick with your convictions, preach pure Krishna consciousness, promote the pure chanting of the holy name, and don't offend Vaishnavas. That's an example which will make people want to hear from you what you have to say. Without a doubt, you, Guru Maharaj, are setting the most perfect and shining example in following this very same formula yourself. Therefore, we all, along with so many other devotees, including your God brothers and God sisters, are so eager to hear from you. Not to offend Vaishnavas is a deep topic, which we often fall short in understanding and applying in our lives. In this connection, the great Bhagavatam commentator, Sridhar Swami, wrote, "Whether the words are true or not, pointing out the faults of a Vaishnava constitutes blasphemy." We may often take the fact that certain shortcomings in others are there to be a good reason to discuss them, not understanding that this already indicates a blasphemous mentality. Our envious heart pushes us to use others' faults to establish ourselves in a superior position. It often takes place in rather subtle ways, and we may not even be conscious of it, thinking ourselves to simply speak the truth. You, Guru Maharaj, are entirely free from these tendencies. We never hear you speak ill of others. even though you surely see so many faults in others around you. You know the art of feigning the tiny sparks of good qualities in others, and those sparks eventually turn into a blazing fire of devotion, which burns up all faults and shortcomings which may be there. Furthermore, the Skanda Purana, it is said that not to feel happy on seeing a Vaisnava is also an offense, a most subtle manifestation of a blasphemous mentality. I certainly have a long way to go until I'm able to follow your instruction of not offending devotees. My only hope is to always keep your sublime example in my heart and deeply meditate on striving to develop just one drop of your saintly qualities, all the while calling out to Lord Nrsimhadev to uproot those unwanted tendencies from my heart. Being here in Simachalam in Germany, I'm at the perfect place for such meditation. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for allowing me to take shelter at your lotus feet. I often wish I could get more of your personal instructions and directions. However, as long as I'm falling short in fulfilling this one, which ultimately gives everything in essence, I still have enough internal work to do. Please forgive me for my shortcomings, faults, and offenses, and allow me to remain in the shelter of your lotus feet. Please bless me to always be allowed to serve the Vaishnavas and never leave their association. I pray and long for the day when I can call myself a worthy servant of your divine grace. Your aspiring servant, Devaki Devi Dasi. Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for everything you have done for all of us. Thank you.
Спасибо, Матаджи Деваки. И
Thank you, Mataji Devaki. And now we are very happy to ask Pyari Mohan Prabhu to say a few words.
So, Pyari Mohan Prabhu, it will be a surprise for Guru Maharaja.
Pyari Mohan Prabhu, are you ready?
Hold on, just 1 second.
Okay, we will wait.
Just had it. Hold on. Let me. Okay, because I had a different schedule. I mean, not me. I was told someone was going to be speaking before me, so I was waiting for them. Anyway, I'm fine. I'm ready. As ready as I'm going to be. Okay. So let me start by offering my humble obeisances to Niranjana Swami, Vanchakalpatu, Vishchakri, Vasundari, Vichapakita, Bhavanabhyo, Vaishnavyo, Namo Namaha. Pretty big couch there, Maharaj. Let's see, what I just wrote a few notes. I just basically found out about this just about 2 days ago, 1 day ago. So I'm fortunate enough that it wasn't an anxiety for such a long time trying to figure out what to say. So anyway, just to tell a little for people who don't know, we've been friends since the early 70s. We both joined in the Boston Temple. I joined before you, which is proof that it's not a question of time, it's a question of, I guess, quality of how fast you make spiritual advancement. So we both served Radha Gopi Vallabha. We both have attachments for Radha Gopi Vallabha. Let's see, while he was in Boston at one time, I was in charge of plays. So we would put on a play. I wasn't just in charge of plays. I did Sankirtan every single day. And then in the evening when we had milk, we'd go upstairs and practice for a play. And Niranjana Swami wanted to try out. Of course, he wasn't a Swami at the time, but he wanted to try out for the plays. Of course, if he was a Swami, I may have let him join. But he tried out for the play and he wasn't a very good actor, so I rejected him. And I'm not sure if he's gotten over that yet. But I'm assuming he has, because he seems to he's still my friend since then. Let's see, Maharaj also has a very good sense of humor. I don't know if many of you know that, because I don't know how he deals with other people, but I know with me, he says a lot of very funny things. He is one of my gurus, my computer guru. He helps me very much with my computer problems, and he becomes quite often frustrated due to my inability to grasp any of the concepts of how a computer works. So he's very tolerant in that way. He's also, in one sense, my health guru, because anything that's ever wrong with me, he knows exactly what to do because he already had it wrong with him. So I appreciate that very much. And of course, he's also my spiritual guru. And honestly, other than, Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, I don't know anyone who cares about my spiritual life as much as Niranjana Swami does. He's also my GBC. He's a wonderful manager, and I think he's highly intelligent in how he deals with problems. He's like really, really smart. And I hope I can learn something from it. I mean, just because I'm a slow learner, a normal person would definitely be able to learn from it. But he's very, very intelligent, and I'm very happy that he is my GBC, and there's no one who cares for me more or cares for the temple more or cares for the devotees more than Niranjana Swami. So that is a really wonderful thing. He calls me regularly, which I'm very, very happy. And even when he wants to go to bed, I still try to keep him on longer because I like his association so much. And I'm sure everybody on this Zoom conference also appreciates very much his association. But he's genuinely caring about the devotees. I mean, I see that in my dealings with him as a temple president. He's a GBC. I'm also a regional secretary, so he deals with devotees in the Boston temple also. I'm in the Connecticut temple, and I see how he deals with devotees, and he cares. He puts the devotees first. He puts them first, and I think it's a extremely wonderful, rare quality that he has that. I don't have that quality so much. I just think what's best for the temple, and if it's not the best thing for the devotees, too bad. I don't know what to do. But he's very genuine spiritual master. I even thought about in the past gurus, and there are different. This is my own classification of different kind of gurus. Some gurus. Well, all gurus all genuine gurus care for the disciples, but some, and then they may have zones that they have to be in charge of. So they want their disciples to work in their particular zone. So to me, that's not as good as of a guru as the guru who doesn't really care where in ISKCON his disciple is serving, even if it's in someone else's zone, just as long as they're doing nicely spiritually, they're doing well spiritually. That's his only concern. So I think that's a higher guru than the other guru who cares for the person's spiritual life, but only wants them to serve within his zone. He doesn't even have that restriction for someone to make spiritual advancement. They have to, or he prefers. He generally doesn't care what zone they're serving as long as they're actually doing nicely in Krishna consciousness. So to me, that's the highest standard of a guru. And Niranjana Swami definitely has that standard, because I see so many people in different places, and has no way of thinking of moving them to his zone. No, not whatsoever. So he sees, like Srila Prabhupada even said that you should think of the whole world first, and second your zone. When the whole world is, all of ISKCON. ISKCON's first. I'm speaking of ISKCON. I mean, he's definitely an ISKCON man. And I was trying to look up, because I see, we have, I don't know how many years we have left together, because, you get old, and that's what happens. It's, eventually you have to leave this body. So I was thinking, I wanted more association. So I remember Prabhupada, I heard Prabhupada said that, there is ISKCON in the spiritual sky, in the spiritual world. There is a ISKCON. So I was happy thinking about that, because then I could be with so many of my friends, devotee friends, and God brothers, and in the spiritual world, we can be together. So I was trying to look this up just probably about an hour ago, because I really, there's a saying that nothing gets more accomplished than the last minute. So I just started doing all of this, and I just found this letter. It's a kind of a famous letter, which I've read before, but I really like. So I'm going to read. I'm not reading the whole letter. I'm going to read just parts of it, and some of it deals with also the disciple and the guru. So this is a letter to Tushta Krishna on December 14th, 1972. And Prabhupada started answering the letter, but then he says, your next question: after leaving this material realm, does the devotee remain forever with his spiritual master? The answer is yes. But I think you have got the mistaken idea in this connection. You speak of pure devotee, that he is Shaktiveshavatar, that we should obey him only. These things are the wrong idea. If anyone thinks like that a pure devotee should be obeyed and no one else, that means he is a nonsense. We advise everyone to address one another as Prabhu. Prabhu means master. So how the master should be disobeyed. So we address somebody as Prabhu, but we don't listen to him. You have to listen to your master. All my disciples are pure devotees. Anyone sincerely serving the spiritual master is a pure devotee. Anyone who surrendered to the spiritual master is a pure devotee. Amongst ourselves, one should respect others as Prabhu, master. As soon as we distinguish, here is a pure devotee, here is a non-pure devotee, that means I am a nonsense. Why you only want to be in the spiritual sky with Siddha Swarup? Why not all? If Siddha Swarup can go, why not everyone? Siddha Swarup will go. You will go. Syama-sundari will go. All others will go. We will have another ISKCON there. Of course, Mr. Nair must stay. I just love Srila Prabhupada. He's so serious about everything, but he talks about Mr. Nair must stay. He's the only one that came to his mind that's definitely not going to the spiritual world. And for those who don't know who Mr. Nair is, he's the one who gave Srila Prabhupada a very hard time in Mumbai in acquiring the property. He sold the property to him, but then he tried to cheat Prabhupada, and it was a very big struggle and went on for a long time, went on in the courts, so many problems. They even came and destroyed the temple, and right when it got to the deities, they stopped. Someone had come, Prabhupada's friend had come and stopped them at that time. Anyway, it's a long history. It should be in the Lila Mita, right? It's the Lila Mita. It's in the Lilamrita for those who haven't read it. But it's just funny how Prabhupada says let's see, all others will go. We will have another ISKCON there. Of course, Mr. Nair must stay. And then it says, next you ask if I am present in my picture and form. So I'm reading this just so everybody gets this understanding. Yes, in form as well as in teachings. To carry out the teachings of Guru is more important than to worship the form. But none of them should be neglected. Form is called Vapu and teaching is called Vani. Both should be worshipped. Vani is more important than Vapu. In such short words, Prabhupada says so much. Your next question is, should we love Krishna or love the spiritual master? You cannot go to Krishna directly, you cannot go to Krishna directly loving him. It is common sense that if Krishna is the object of your love, his pet dog is also the object of your love. Friends meet friends, and if the friend is with his dog, the gentleman pets his dog first. Is it not? So the man becomes automatically pleased, his dog being patted. I have seen it in your country. The conclusion is this: without pleasing the spiritual master, he cannot please Krishna. If anyone tries to please Krishna directly, he's fool number one. So this is Srila Prabhupada's understanding. I was in New Vrindavan. I don't know if you were there, Niranjana Swami, or not. It was the whole Boston temple pretty much went to New Vrindavan for Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja.
No, that was 72.
Okay.
I went to New Vrindavan in 73 for Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, but Prabhupada wasn't there that year.
Okay,
I didn't go in 72.
Okay, that was pretty exciting with Prabhupada Das, who was Zeke at the time, who now is Damodar something Maharaj. But
Prabhupada Vata Damodar Swami.
Okay, okay. But anyway, so we went in the back of his truck.
You sure you're not talking about Philadelphia?
Am I talking about Philadelphia?
Yeah, we all went in the back of his truck to Philadelphia in 75 to see Prabhupada.
No, I guess we did it twice, but I wasn't there in 75. I was already on Radha Damodar.
Okay.
But we went in the back of his truck. Oh, it was insane. But we got there, and one of the things Prabhupada said, because there was so many devotees, and it was really muddy, and but Prabhupada was talking, and there were news people there too, and he talked about, it was his Vyasa Puja, and he said how just like if you want to please God, he said, what can you do to please God? You know, he's got everything. What can you do? He says, even a rich man, what can you do to please a rich man? But if he has a son and you pat his son nicely on the head, or even if he has a dog and you pet his dog nicely, he's pleased. He said, similarly, I am like Krishna's dog. Now, of course, we don't see the Guru as Krishna's dog, but this way may be the way the Guru may feel about himself. So Prabhupada is saying that so the way we can please Krishna is by pleasing him. So the way we can please Krishna now also is by pleasing the Guru. And your Guru, Niranjana Swami, is a very dedicated servant of Srila Prabhupada. So he's pleasing Prabhupada by taking on this service as a Guru. And by pleasing Prabhupada, by serving him, you're also pleasing Prabhupada. You're pleasing him and you're pleasing Prabhupada. So this is the disciplic succession. I was just thinking one time when Prabhupada, this one devotee said he wants to distribute so many books because it's your desire, talking to Prabhupada, it's Prabhupada's desire to distribute these books. And Prabhupada said, no, it's not my, he says, no, he said, it's Lord Chaitanya's desire, it's Bhakti Vinod's desire, it's Bhakti Siddhanta's desire, then it's my desire. So even his desires are his own. It's what they want. That's all he desires. So this is the spiritual master. So Niranjana Swami is a wonderful, wonderful devotee, wonderful friend, wonderful God brother, and he's a wonderful guru, a spiritual master in his dealings with his disciples. And I'm so happy with Niranjana Swami, and I hope I continue to get his association for the rest of my life and the rest of his life, or somehow, well, that's if we both leave at the same time. But I actually wanted Maharaj, when I'm leaving my body, to be there and chanting while I can listen to his chanting, and I know I go back to the spiritual world. But anyway, thank you, Maharaj. And as you can see, I didn't have anything really prepared, except I read a little bit of that. But thank you so much. And I hope to hear from you soon. And have a wonderful Vyasa Puja. Hare Krishna. Glory to
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Pyari Mohan Prabhu, for joining. I hope you did it voluntarily and nobody put any pressure on you to come.
Oh, I was just told that it was going on and I would like to speak. And although I didn't know what to say, I decided, and I don't really like to speak, but I decided I should do it anyway. So I did it.
Well, I think everybody already knows about you because I talk about you in a lot of places. Everybody knows that we've been friends for almost 50 years. What is it,
Yeah,
back to
very close, very close.
Ah.
And you know, I sometimes treat him as just a friend and not like a spiritually advanced devotee. He seems to not mind in the least.
No, for me, friends are much more important. So I can very much say, loudly declare it, that you've been one of my best friends for my whole career in Krishna consciousness, and
Well,
you've never faltered in your friendship in any way, and I'm very much indebted to you for that.
well, I can say even louder that you are my best friend, or one of my best friends. I may have a couple. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Pyari Mohan Prabhu, for this heartfelt words. Very encouraging for us to see your exchange. And now we would like to invite Guru Maharaja's sister, Sandy or Sandra. Forgive me if I don't address properly. So please, please turn on your mic.
I did.
Uh-oh, I'm worried about what she's going to say.
Hare Krishna. It's so good to see you. You don't have to worry. I monitor myself very carefully. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Niranjana's older sister. And before you look at me and say, yes, she looks like him, I will give you my standard line. No, he looks like me. Meanwhile, I am honored to be able to speak with you in this forum on this day of recognition of your birthday or your appearance day. I can only say that I, for one, consider you to be a gift. You know that's how I feel about you. Little did I know when a mother brought you home from the hospital all those years ago that you would be a gift not only to me, but also to so many devotees and God brothers and sisters in different parts of the world. Why are you a gift? Well, there were times growing up when I thought you were anything but a gift, so it was a debatable description. However, I have told stories and I won't repeat them, so you won't have to be embarrassed. But I've told people how you were a mischievous child, how you always managed to surprise us. Just the other day, I was talking with Vrindavan, and I was telling her about how you could be so stubborn, ill-tempered, and a major challenge to our parents, even trying to put you to bed. Here's one brief story. When we were very young, we shared the same bedroom. I don't even know if you remember that, Niranjana, but your crib was in the same room as my bed, and they would put you to bed before me, and eventually I would go to bed not long after. However, I would no sooner fall asleep than I would hear thump, and that was you climbing out of your crib. And with your Dr. Dentons, you would walk along the floor and stick your head around the desk looking into the den where our parents were watching TV. And they would yell at you, they would put you back to bed, tell you to go to sleep. You would be there for 10 minutes and boom, you would be walking to let them know that you were out of bed again. And I can remember saying to our mother, how am I ever going to sleep with him? This is an example of the energy that you had when you were so very young. You always had this, I don't know, volumes of energy. And unfortunately, it wasn't always put in the best channels. But that's an innocent story, an innocent story. You grow up to be one of the loveliest persons I know. You have integrity, tireless energy for following your conscience, and for your devotion to Krishna and his followers. I thank you for sharing your world with me through experiences such as travel in India and Hungary. I hope someday we may get to travel together again when the world is more normal or in the new normal. However, I also want to thank you for introducing me to such wonderful people. I've met them in all parts of this country and on our travels. And some of them I am still in contact with on a routine basis, and they're a valuable part of my life. They kind of fill the hole that I have from not having as much contact with you as I would enjoy. Nevertheless, let me say, I am so proud and honored to be your sister. You're a wonderful brother, and I thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, Sandy. I'm very happy to see you here. And
Thank you.
it was totally unexpected.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea you were going to be on.
Well, I love surprising you.
Definitely a surprise.
Okay.
And I'm glad you didn't tell any of the stories that probably would have embarrassed me.
I keep them for very small private parties. They're not for wide distribution.
I'm surprised they haven't been found out, though.
I trust the sources to whom I share these stories. So, yeah.
Okay.
I wish you good health, and I hope that I can get to see you again sometime soon. I know.
It's in Krishna's hands.
I know.
Yeah, who knows when I'm going to be leaving India? I have no idea. I don't even think about it anymore.
I understand. Well, you look quite comfortable.
I'm comfortable. Pyari Mohan, he was also on there, also commented about how the sulfur looks quite long.
Oh, I listened to Pyari. I heard his words. Pyari and I have sparred in the past, and I enjoy his company as well as, maybe not in the same way that you do, but I find him to be a really good person. He's one of the people I've enjoyed meeting.
Everybody likes Pyari.
Yeah.
There was one devotee that always says, whenever mentions Pyari, his name, he always says, Pyari, the life of the party.
Well, he certainly, just saying his name makes me laugh. So that's clearly how people think of him.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to
And
see you.
I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, I'll be happy to hear from you. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandra, for this surprise.
Thank you for letting me surprise him.
Hare Krishna, nice to see you again.
Hey, hi.
Prasadam
Did you-
Jiva,
Sorry?
get the Prasadam Jiva sent?
Yeah, I sent her a note and said I got the sweetest package. Do you know that those raspberry bars were gone in a nanosecond? I have told her repeatedly, no matter how many times I ask, I do not want the recipe. I can't stop eating them. So thank her once again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you again, Mataji Sandra and Pyari Mohan Prabhu. This gave us opportunity to see some intimate exchanges with Guru Maharaj. And now we continue in more traditional way, and we would like to ask Mataji Gitamala to speak, and after that, Mataji Anandini.
Hare Krishna. That's a hard act to follow after Pyari Prabhu and Sandy Mataji. But I will do my best. So Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. My dear Guru Maharaj, I have a short thing, written up already. So please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet on this auspicious day of your appearance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga. So this year has been a very unique year to most everyone in the world, although perhaps in different flavors. But to me, it truly has been one of the most significant years of this entire lifetime. And that's saying something, All my life, since my youth, I craved for more association with devotees, which for reasons of circumstance or other reasons, as you very well know, I never could get enough of. This is the year I have fully understood the power of devotee association. It started with the daily Bhagavad Gita classes on Zoom at 7 every evening. We systematically studied the Gita, verse by verse in sequence, with various excellent devotees in our temple giving class, including Pyari Prabhu and Jiva Mataji on the Ishopanishad, and understanding the Gita in depth with many questions and discussions with our temple group. It felt so good to have that association, company, and laughter in this isolating pandemic environment that we were so restrictively facing. Then every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., we started having Srimad Bhagavatam classes, and all the while having our regular Sunday programs, classes, and festivals. We even managed a small outdoor Ratayatra in our temple parking lot with ecstatic kirtan and honoring of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Devi. The dedication, innovation, and commitment of our temple devotees to create a full-scale Zoom temple was simply unprecedented. Then came some very dedicated devotees starting the morning program of japa chanting from 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Narasim Aarti, Tulsi Puja, and daily morning short Bhagavad Gita class. These devotees encouraged everyone to conduct the singing and giving class, making us all participate in the service of the Lord and researching and reading and speaking from the scriptures. Like it couldn't get any better than this. Another devotee started giving Srimad Bhagavatam class every day from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Again, reading the Srimad Bhagavatam in sequence from the very beginning and having, sorry, just a second. And having discussions and questions in a small group of devotees, which I came to look forward to every day. So in this way, an entire day, Maharaj was somehow absorbed in Krishna Katha and Kirtan and this included your ecstatic Bhagavatamrita morning sessions on Saturday and Mondays, which was beyond nectarian. I even joined a Bhakti Shastri class being given by a very scholarly devotee who has joined our temple. This is helping me read and understand better much of the principles of our philosophy and incorporate it better into my life. Thus, without stepping out of the house, with no huge effort and with no hindrance to my daily duties, I have a full-scale Zoom temple, devotee association, and answers to all my spiritual questions available to me on a daily basis. This can only be due to your blessings, Maharaj. Wonderful festivals, even book distribution, and sponsorship activities have been going on virtually by the effort of so many wonderful devotees and Srila Prabhupada and Krishna's and your grace. It is simply amazing how there is truly no material impediment to spiritual progress. Such has been the nectar of lockdown, and I'm actually fearful of its ending sometime and this wonderful Zoom temple and devotee association not being available to me in the future. Although I hope by your grace to have such association and Krishna Katha, Kirtan, and devotional service available to me through all the days of my life, begging for your blessings to serve Guru and Gauranga to the best of my ability, your insignificant servant, Gitamala. Niranjana Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji Gitamala, for this offering Zoom temple. And now we would like to invite Acarya-nidhi Prabhu and Mataji Sarad-viharini.
আমাদের টাইমে হল কে বসো তুমি না বলাস হরে কৃষ্ণ Dandavat Pranam, Guru Maharaj. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. I'm not sure the timing wise is a little bit which time I know is a little different, but anyway. Omaganate Mendasya Niranjana Shlaka. Omaganate Mendasya Niranjana Shlaka. Shurum Niranjana Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Dear Guru Maharaj.
Do you need to reschedule?
We had a schedule, so my wife is not ready, so I don't know. I mean,
they can switch you with somebody else, and you can do it again. You can do it a little bit later, if Sarad-viharini needs some time.
Yeah, that would be that would be nice because she was just doing some seva right now.
Okay, that Sankarshan can just switch with somebody else.
Sure.
No problem.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Do you know which time, Shankarshan Prabhuji?
When would you like? Little later, after 10 minutes?
20? Yes, that would be nice.
Okay, so after 10-15 minutes.
Dandavat. Thank you.
So we would like to invite Murari Krsna Prabhu to speak now. 1 minute, Murari Krsna Prabhu, we will turn on your mic.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes.
Guru Maharaja, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Just a second. Санкаршан Нитай Прабху, как я могу найти Гуру Махараджа фотографию?
Чтобы видеть его.
Sankarshan Нитай Prabhu, how can I find Guru Maharaja's picture? I can share his picture for you for now, but if you want, you can choose his video and put it in front of you, but it will take some time.
Вот как-то можно закрепить изображение.
Something like that. Thank you. Now I can see.
Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya. Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaiti Girim. Yatkripatam Aham Vade Sri Gurum Dinatarinam. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Kroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udarapasta Vegam. Etam Vegamscha Uchayate Dhira, Sarvam Apimam Prithvim Sashishyat. This is the mantra I was meditating on when trying to prepare to speak. And the official offering, I hope you have in a Vyasa Puja book. And it came a little personal, so I was not sure how to say it in public. So I prefer to use this opportunity still to talk to you, because it is a very rare opportunity, especially considering the present conditions, which are coming under the motto of solitude for many of us. For me, for example, for several months, I'm like physically alone, but I have some association with the Polish tour family and other devotees. But seeing you and having the opportunity to talk to you, it's a very rare chance for me, and I don't want to lose it ever. So just at that personal note here, today I went to the hills around the house I'm living in and plucked up some flowers and made some flower arrangement for your Vyasa Puja. Here you can see it. Please accept these fresh flowers, yellow flowers. I know you like the yellow colored flowers, because when I met you for the first time in Moscow, many, like 30-something years ago, I also presented you a big bouquet of yellow roses, and you gladly accepted it and said this color is wonderful, reminds you about Krishna. And then I cooked some humble dishes. Please accept it too. So I'm celebrating your appearance day, your glorious appearance day, in my own way, and I have some things to tell at this occasion too. First of all, I came to understanding that many of us came to this movement looking for a shelter, trying to solve their own personal problems, trying to find answers for their questions, not unstoppable questions about the meaning of this existence at all. And after a short time, by magic, by Prabhupada's magic and your magic and the magic of many senior devotees leading the movement, we became a part of a mission, which was now, after contemplating about it, it was quite a sudden change, because I came with completely different purposes. But suddenly we were out in the streets distributing books at any weather conditions, and people gladly were taking it. And this was a magical spirit of Sankirtan book distribution, which is the first-hand experience, which is very high taste. You cannot mistake it with anything else. And then today, after 30 years, I can tell you that yes, this is a missionary movement, and you were speaking about it in your class today. And I want to tell you that for me, you are the embodiment of this mission, because as you were giving us the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. The mission is having some purposes, and we have to accomplish these purposes of the mission. And you are, as I see it, as your disciple, helping your spiritual master to accomplish this mission. And from the very young age in devotional service, we were told that the goal of the disciple, the purpose, the meaning of the disciple is to help the spiritual master in accomplishing his mission, and he is helping his spiritual master to accomplish his mission. And this way the parampara works. So although I'm on a distance from you physically for a long time, but I'm seeing your activities, Guru Maharaj, and I'm very much excited with what you are doing. And this is the very mission itself. You are opening the temple, Man mana bhava mad bhakto mamyaji. We have opportunity to bow down there and to serve the Lord there. And then Man mana bhava mad bhakto, the Shravanam Kirtanam, you are always very actively chanting the holy names in your bhajans and kirtans, and then giving the pravachanam, the classes on a very high level, which is also part of this mission, the distribution of the holy name and constructing the temples, giving the devotees the opportunity to serve the Lord in being surrounded with people with the same mentality and same purposes. And this is the embodiment of the Srila Prabhupada's mission as I can see it. So on two occasions in my life, and asking me whether or not I know it turned around to be Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhakti Loka, which is right now humbly opening its pages, and I'm finding the roots of Vaisnava there. And the root word, the key word for our movement is also the culture. The culture is partially kept in a history and in the cyclic succession. So we have to know the culture, the roots of the culture, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was reviving this Vaishnava culture after a long break, as we know. And here in this book, I would allow myself, with your permission, to quote a couple of sentences, which are also key ideas to understand your mission, your role in our life and in the life of this movement. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says here, the first thing the human being has to do is to accept the shelter of the lotus feet of the real guru, the bona fide guru. Without the guru, spiritual life is very difficult. Those whose intelligence is not developed are thinking that they are happy in a world of Maya. But if by the chance they would have the association of the Mahajan, their intelligence will strengthen and they will understand. Alas, I was trying to hunt for the satisfaction of the senses, and I was spending my life trying to accomplish that. But after meeting a great soul, the person begins to listen to it, and if he is fortunate enough, he would get the seed of the faith. This faith is pushing him to make efforts in devotional service, and that's why it's very important to take the shelter of the lotus feet of the bona fide guru. By his mercy, even the unintelligent people are getting the intelligence. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur goes on explaining the role with Guru, and it's very deep explanation. And I see how Srila Prabhupada is basing his teachings on these ideas developed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and how you are representing this by referring to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's creations, like this Bhakti Loka book here. And another sentence I want to quote is coming from the Srila Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam commentary, second canto, 9th chapter, verse number 7, commentary. He says here that acceptance of the bona fide Guru and becoming initiated by the Guru is the answer of the Lord to our prayers. It's a direct answer of the Lord to our prayers. In our lives, we are praying for so many things from the Lord. We are praying for salvation, for liberation, for solving our material problems, for saving us from our own mind. But we have to understand clearly that the Lord, by sending you as a spiritual master, has answered already the prayers of our prayers, and this is coming for real. Your blessings are felt by all of us, and your care is felt by all of us who are lucky to become your disciples and followers. I was speaking about the culture and about the philosophical moments, and I wouldn't keep the public, the devotees, for long here, but I want to tell a couple of things about the culture, because in many Srila Prabhupada's lectures and in your lectures also, we are hearing about how useless is karma path, how difficult is jnana path, how extremely difficult is yoga path to achieve the perfection. And for many of us, this became commonplace in the lectures. We don't pay attention to the meaning of this. But by studying the culture of Hinduism, we see that yogis are performing extreme austerities to achieve perfection, and it takes incredible amount of time. That the Gyanis are developing so much exercise, mental exercise, and they are putting ahead of them the goals of becoming emptiness, or becoming God Himself, and etc., which are for us, for the devotees, are a completely unacceptable paths. What to speak about karma? We were karmis before entering this movement, and each and every of us knows what is karma life, how disgusting this way of karma is, and what fruits it bears eventually. So we are lucky to be a part of this wonderful movement, which is based on wonderful activities of chanting, dancing, feasting, associating with wonderful people, very highly elevated spiritual personalities like you are. So we have to remember and know clearly what is the place of a Hare Krishna Guru, Bhakti Yoga Guru in a life of the humanity. So to accomplish the goals of this path, we have to also be very serious, and I understand it clearly. And this seriousness and discipline comes with the proper chanting of the japa, because it is said in the Prabhupada's books that you are becoming a pure devotee at the moment when you are starting to chant the japa, the Hare Krishna mantra, without any offense. These things are inseparable from each other. So with the discipline and proper consciousness during the chanting, comes so many wonderful fruits and development on the part of Bhakti Yoga. We have to just be in full concentration and fully give ourselves to this process, which is the meaning of devotion. To devote yourself to something means to give your full trust, full time, everything you do by your body, your mind, and your tongue. So this is the degree of the responsibility of, laying on the shoulders of each and every of your disciple, having such a spiritual master as you are, my Guru Maharaj. So I have to end soon, and I have to tell you that as a service and an offering to you, I was lucky to be given service by the BBT, Russian part of the BBT, and the full narration of the Prabhupada's Lilamrita with a musical background and many excerpts of real life Prabhupada's words and lectures and kirtans is ready for publishing, and it will come soon from the BBT and will be available for all the Russian-speaking devotees. And one last thing is a request coming from me and a couple of my god brothers, your disciples, who are coming from the same generation of disciples as me. Recently, we were discussing the idea of doing a conscious parikrama, so to say, a conscious parikrama. We were parts of huge groups of parikram coming to India, having a cultural shock in India, and don't paying real proper attention to the things around us sometimes. But now, after years and years, decades of participation in this movement, we want to make a small group, like 5, 6 devotees, and come together to the places where the roots of our bhakti are kept. The Bangla bhakti, the movement of the Lord Chaitanya, all the personalities we are reading about, the places of their pastimes and things are connected to them. We want to visit these places and have talks dedicated to these places. And we are asking for your blessings to do this conscious parikrama, and if it will be possible, by some miracle, maybe you can take part in at least a short part of this trip, which is, so to say, giving us the opportunity to come to some results of our practice for some years. We are present in this movement. So thank you again for this opportunity to congratulate you with this Puja. And please read my official offering. And if you have opportunity, maybe you can. I don't know. These days the mail exchange is becoming very difficult. But maybe you can give me some hint, some reaction of what you're thinking about the things written there in my offering, please. Thank you for your attention, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
I will read it within the next few days.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't misuse the attention and the time of the devotees present. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
It's very nice to see you. Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you, Guru Maharaj, too. In a good health and taken care nicely by the devotees around you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Murari Krishna Prabhu. And now we would like to ask Sacidulal Prabhu, and after that, Acarya-nidhi Prabhu. So Acarya-nidhi Prabhu, please prepare to be next.
Hare Krishna, respected Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada and Lord Gauranga. Thank you for organizing this online Vyasa Puja. It was a very nectarian experience so far to hear from all the devotees, Devaki, Mataji, Pyari Mohan Prabhu, your sister, and others. Now I would, in my humble attempt, try to glorify you and share some of my realizations. Um, Tatrati Dakshad Ati Vallabh Asya. It's your expertise to engage me in services. I recently heard the verse Nashprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevya, Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 18, and felt hope for myself that if I regularly just keep on hearing from you, trying to serve you, especially by chanting, I can awaken my love of God. The verse Shavan Adi Shuddha Chitta Karo Uday further enhances that hope. I was fortunate enough to edit a few lectures for the Nectar of Lockdown Volume 1. I expressed a desire to volunteer. Although I'm not a native nor much experienced in this skill, you appreciated my desire and gave me an opportunity. I had been doing a lot of shopping for myself and I thought to do something for you. Although you are in no need, you have always kindly accepted my humble offerings. I aspire to have such a consciousness of serving you in everything I do. And in heart of my heart, I know it's all by your mercy and Lord's grace that I'm able to do anything which is meaningful in my life. I will also like to admit that for the last 2 years, nearly 99% of the times, I was maintained in bhakti only by your lectures. I lacked faith in the effectiveness of online japa sessions. I had never done them before, but I was proven wrong as I benefited greatly while chanting with you. I felt more focused and even helped in completion of my rounds, which was otherwise difficult due to other jobs that I'm doing. One of my biggest realization during these sessions was Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado. Clearly, my sadhana wasn't that good, but I am sure you were happy by my submission. Krishna was happy, and I felt bliss as well. We got so much of your mercy online in the last year that COVID seems more a boon than a bane. I found these sessions to be more informal compared to the temple lectures, and I could learn a lot more from your personal example. No doubt, I am spiritually lazy and unfortunate, like many other people in Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda Mateo, Manda Bhagyatu Padrita. But it's my good fortune as you keep on inspiring me for bhakti through your example and words. I can't mention everything over here given the paucity of time, but I would like to mention a few recent ones. You told that we can transcend material miseries by absorption in Krishna consciousness. I am not very a pure kind of person right now, but it inspired me to be more consistent in chanting and doing Krishna Katha. Like yourself, you may have health issues, but you always try to do that and look quite blissful in bhakti, which inspires me a lot. You told several times that you listen to Srila Prabhupada's tapes while doing exercises and taking prasadam and feel many realizations. I have a similar practice and results, but I hear your lectures on your Telegram channel daily. I remember attending a lecture by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu during the ILS last year. He said that although there are many things that ISKCON is offering to the society, but he felt that caring leaders and transcendental sound are the two most important ones. He cited your example as a caring leader, and it was no surprise for me as you are renowned ISKCON wide for the same. Some months ago, I downloaded your ebook, Taking Care of Krishna's Devotees. I am yet to read it, but I got an opportunity to see that when Dhira Prabhu wasn't well. I felt touched when you said to Dhira Prabhu, happy to serve. I haven't helped much other devotees in the faith as I'm myself quite weak. Um, but I feel that your words and example has helped me a lot to change from a materialistic consciousness to have some service mood for devotees. And your 6 loving exchanges amongst devotees. I don't think any other sannyasi in ISKCON would have done even half as much of the prasadam distribution that you have done and are doing. I have been able to imbibe this in my life to some extent. I clearly remember the point on relationship building that you told to Russian speaking devotees in New York. You told that the key is to appreciate devotees and serve them. This opens the door. Although I'm not doing much direct bhakti, I can appreciate those devotees who are around me in Mayapur and have a congenial relationship with them. I found it really helpful, a safeguard, else my mind may find faults in others or quarrel, which would be the natural thing in Kali Yuga. I also appreciate all your disciples whom I interact with, who are quite appreciative, encouraging, like Indulekha Mataji or Rajkumar Prabhu, and are helping me serve you in some way or the other. I would like to conclude with the analogy. I have very little appetite currently for direct bhakti, like my bodily appetite. I hope that my bhakti appetite slowly improves by your mercy. Bhakti is often compared to a creeper growing from a seed to a plant when we water it regularly by hearing and chanting. A devotee recently compared it to a river that keeps on increasing, like the Ganges in the beginning. It's very small, Gomukh, but then it goes on expanding until at Ganga Sagar, it's like an ocean. I'm hoping and requesting for your good wishes that I may improve in bhakti like that. I may also do more Krishna Katha chanting and with more taste. Thank you for giving me your continued association and wish you the best of health. Your servant, Sacidulal. Thank you.
Thank you, Sacidulal Prabhu. And now we would like to invite Acarya-nidhi Prabhu to speak. And dear devotees, I would like to remind you that in Mayapur, it's now 20 minutes past 9 p.m., so quite late, and there are quite many devotees who would like to speak, so please consider it.
Hare Krishna. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Niranjana Swami Nityanamidan Hatha Prayashna Prabhupada Shatishte Sankirtan Pravartana Nama. Dear beloved Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On this most auspicious day of your divine appearance, I wish to thank you from the core of our heart. Gurudev, you are so merciful that during this pandemic time, we are getting an extraordinary association from you. We are enjoying your virtual association twice in a week. As we are meeting regularly, listening from Brihad Bhagavatamamrita, chanting japa together, it is so blissful. You have awakened our faith, bhakti about Harinam Sankirtan, devotee care, bhakti, book distribution, chanting, etc. By your mercy, we are trying to continue our sadhana bhakti. Gurudev, we are always influenced by Maya. It is so strong. We beg your mercy so that we can overcome Maya and always remember Krishna and continue your service. We pray to Lord Nrsimhadev for your good health so that we can continue to get your mercy. Thank you, Gurudev. Please bless us. Hari Bol. Sarad-viharini Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, Vansakalputaru Vishnu Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha Putanang Pavanavu Vaishnava Gunanu. Dear Gurudev, sorry that first time we are not prepared because of the timing. So thank you very much for the organizers to organizing such a nice virtual show. Actually, this is an opportunity for us to talk to Maharaj directly from our heart. Gurudev, being we are all in a pandemic situation, the only blissful thing we can enjoy your association, which is an extraordinary opportunity. It could not happen if this pandemic would not be there. We are always hanker for your association. Now at least we can get twice in a week, which is actually keeping us on track for the sadhana and remain on the path of bhakti. And this is actually extraordinarily helping us in our everyday life, and in many ways is to be continue associate with the devotees, with their deities, and many different ways we are associating devotees from many parts of the world. And more importantly, you nectarian is coming from Srimad Brihad Bhagavad Amrita classes. It's an extraordinary opportunity. And to doing all these things, there are many devotees behind it is working relentlessly. And I thank them to from my bottom of my heart, and to continue so that we don't miss anything. And if you can uh, do more classes is better, but two is still good for every week. And at the end, I would like to say that this pandemic is how blessed is like when Kunti Devi's prayer in 8.35, she was telling that, and yet others says that you appear to rejuvenate the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that conditioned souls suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. So I take this pandemic situation in that context is the blessings that even though it's very adverse in many ways, but for sadhana it helps. So I don't know if many people will miss it or not, but will miss because the vaccine is coming. Probably the soon the life will be the new normal. And we don't want to miss in the new normal, even if we can continue regular basis. When this pandemic situation will be over, the world will be the new normal world. But why don't we can keep these classes continue even in a new normal? So that's my humble request to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. I know your traveling will be so intensive, but for devotees like in the different part of the world, like Western Canada, you never visited Guru Maharaj. This is our best opportunity to associate with. So I would humbly request, even though the whatever the situation it comes in the world, we would like to associate with you virtually. The technology is very useful. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, all organizers, and Gurudev. Please accept our humble obeisances again, and please forgive me for the first time I couldn't, uh, I took more time. Sorry about that. Hare Krishna. Dhan pranam.
I just wanted to say one thing, that I'm giving 4 classes a week, not 2 classes a week. And and the other 2 classes are at a time in Calgary, which is not so late. I mean, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's what, 9:30 in Calgary? Is that what it is? If it's 10 o'clock in the morning here, it's 9:30 in the evening in Calgary. And those are on Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll because of the maybe sometime with our work situation timing.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I understand.
Those two timing is perfectly fitting, Maharaj. Gurudev.
The ones on Saturday and Monday.
Yes. It's very fitting for us. Very nicely fitting.
Okay, I understand.
Thank you so much, Gurudev. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very good.
Now we would like to invite Syamarupa Prabhu to speak, and after that, Nitay Gauranga Prabhu and Mataji Prema-vilasini.
Hare Krishna. Maya? Hare Krishna. So thank you everybody for sharing your beautiful offerings to Srila Guru Maharaj, and of course Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble Dandavat pranams. Nama Om Vishnu Badaya Shri Guru Prasadayate Dridani Swami Shri Pada Niranjana Itanamine Anahata Prayashena Prabhupadaya Tushte. Sankirtam Pavriti Itam Ihate Gurave Namaha. Namo Nishkama Bhaktaya Sarva Bhakta Hitayate. Krishna Kirtana Pranaya Niranjana Itinamane. So I first offer my humble obeisances unto His Divine Grace Om Vishnupad, Niranjana Swami Maharaj, who has received the mercy from Sri Guru and bestows his same mercy to one and all. Niranjana Swami's heart only knows full dedication to the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and therefore he propagates the glories of congregational chanting of the holy names everywhere. To such a spiritual master, I offer my respectful obeisances. And my obeisances to you, O selfless devotee, who acts for the welfare of all the devotees. Your very life is dedicated to glorifying the holy name of Krishna. So, dear Srila Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace, all glories to Srila Abhay Trivinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And please also accept this simple, humble Vyasa Puja offering to you on this day of your appearance in this world. On this day, as I'm composing this offering, I'm reflecting on this past year, the drastic changes that we've all undergone, and taking account as to whether I've done anything worthwhile for my spiritual advancement or not, whether I've taken sufficient advantage of the Lord's mercy that came in the form of the coronavirus, or as we like to say, the coronavirus, and the opportunities that it provided to go for all of us to go deeper into our spiritual practices. And moreover, I also contemplate whether if I've actually pleased my spiritual master in not only following the letter of your instructions, but also whether or not I've captured the essential point of it all. So yesterday, as I was composing this, we observed back in December, the Virahat Mahotsava, the separation or the disappearance day of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And yes, while we celebrate his life and his qualities of this unequaled and exalted personality, as you stated, to call it a celebration is something that I too find difficult to do. On this day, I always appreciate on the theme of gratitude. Gratitude that for all that Srila Prabhupada had done for the world and for us. The sacrifices he was willing to make, and the amount of time and energy he exerted just are told the principles of Vaishnava Sadachar, to maintain the principles. Still, Srila Prabhupada adamantly and continuously expressed his love and appreciation for his disciples, regardless of any of that. And so it is this quality of humility and having a heart filled with gratitude and appreciation is one of Srila Prabhupada's many attractive qualities that both inspires and humbles the servant. And so on this day, we celebrate celebrate heartily the appearance and life of our beloved spiritual master. And so we also express our gratitude and appreciation on how you also are making so many sacrifices to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And all this for our benefit. And how even with this worldwide pandemic, you are still preaching and chanting vigorously. The real glory of Srila Prabhupada is not only limited to the external achievements of building temples, printing books, and other remarkable feats, but also how he inspired countless souls to dedicate their lives to the service of the mission of Sri Chaitanya. And so we can perceive and hopefully capture some of this grace by the mercy of those who are directly connected to Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, without this grace or such mercy, how can we advance in Krishna consciousness? As Swarup Damodar kindly advised the Bengali poet in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila, chapter 5, verse 131, Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavya Ekanta Ashraya Kara Chaitanya Charane. that if you want to understand the Srimad Bhagavatam, you must approach a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. You can do this when you've completely taken shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so, dear Sri Guru Maharaj, I am humbly submitting this petition to you. Please always keep the servant in your good graces, and please forgive any offenses I have made or any lack of good qualities that I may exhibit. On this day, as we contemplate our great good fortune, I feel both inspired and chastened to consider these points. Inspired by your endless dedication and chastened when I realize how I could have been better utilized the time and facilities offered to me. And so for the remainder of the year and for the year to come, I pray for the strength and inspiration to improve my sadhana and to render some service that may somehow be pleasing to you. With all love and gratitude, I beg to remain as your dedicated disciple, Syamarupa Das. Om Gandavananda Shakiranjana Sakaya Chakshamalitam Yena Tasmai Shigravena Namaha.
Thank you, Syamarupa Prabhu. And now we would like to ask Nitay Gauranga Prabhu and Prema-vilasini Mataji to speak, and after that Rasanath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev, and all of our dear God family. Thank you so much to the organizers for this event. Dear Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, your appearance, and your loving service to Srila Prabhupada. Throughout my life, I have thought of Srila Prabhupada as a heroic figure. In certain ways, I feel close to him, like a granddaughter hoping to make him proud and repay him somehow. I close my eyes during kirtan sometimes and see his benevolent face full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. I can see his impact on every aspect of my life. But for this same reason, I sometimes feel distant from him, as though what he has given me is too vast an ocean to begin to cross, and he is too great of a soul to dare approach. Never getting to experience his physical presence, the way he personally interacted with each individual according to their spiritual capacity, I fall into the trap of painting him as an unreachable ideal.
Пересекать. И слишком великая душа, чтобы позволить себе приблизиться к ней. Не имея возможности физического общения, благодаря тому, как он лично общается с каждым посредством своих духовных возможностей, я попадаю в ловушку представления о нем как о недостижимом идеале. Я так вам благодарна, дорогой Гурудев, за всестороннюю передачу наследия Шрилы Прабхупады. Вы также герой и сострадательный человек, полностью посвятивший себя проповеди и неограниченный в своей доброте. Я не знаю, как в полной мере выразить свою благодарность за личностную заботу и руководство, которое вы являли мне в течение многих лет, вне зависимости от вашей занятости. Во время киртана я открываю глаза и вижу ваше лицо с глазами, опущенными в смиренном предании. Вы усилили мою связь со Шрилой Прабхупадой и помогли мне преодолеть сложности в достижении его. Вы убедили меня, что у меня есть место в движении Господа Чайтаньи вне зависимости от моего уровня духовной осознанности. Вы показываете мне, что есть потенциал для таких, как я, для обретения отношений с Кришной. В этот год испытаний вы своим примером демонстрируете, что Кришна может дать неограниченные духовные ресурсы изнутри, и мы прилагаем к этому усилия. Благодарю вас за принятие меня в качестве ученицы, благодарю за киртаны и лекции, благодарю за уникальную доброжелательность, которую вы питаете к каждому преданному Кришны. Никогда не могу в достаточной степени отблагодарить вас, что является лучшей из всевозможных задач для меня в этой жизни. Стремящийся стать служанкой Према-vilasini Даси. Харе Кришна, Гуру Махарадж. Харе Кришна, дорогой Гурудев, предлагаю свои поклоны вам и вашему духовному учителю Шриле Прабхупаде. Чувствую благодарность за возможность связи с вами, Кришной, в эти ненадежные времена и в те, что еще грядут. Ранее Кришна привел мою лодку в безопасную гавань общения с его преданными и святым именем. Но в этот раз это что-то иное. С новой прочной, якорной стоянкой, которую вы обеспечили мне, у меня гораздо больше шансов противостоять продолжающимся ветрам и приливам. Я молюсь, чтобы больше ценить свою связь с вайшнавами, гуру и Кришной, и чтобы проявлять больше инициативы для дальнейшего противостояния дрейфу. Большое спасибо за сочувствие моему положению и за обеспечение возможности оставаться в общении с преданными. С надеждой, ваше служение, Нитай Гауранга Дас. Хари Кришна.
Thank you, Nitay Gauranga Prabhu and Mataji Prema-vilasini. Dear Guru Maharaj, can I ask you to make Varshana the host again? Because he had some internet issues, so he lost his host right. And now I would like to ask
Сейчас я...
Yes, you are the host again, so could you please make him the host?
Oh yeah, I'm the host. Okay. Just 1 second.
Сейчас Гуру Махарадж сделает Варшану Прабху организатором этой встречи. А сейчас я попрошу Расанатху Прабху и Saci-sundari Mataji произнести свои подношения, а потом Dhira Прабху будет выступать.
If you like, we can give you some time and maybe you can try to adjust.
Invite the next one. Meanwhile, I'll just change the device, okay?
So you will speak a little later, right? Okay, because please try to adjust this. So maybe Dhira Prabhu is ready to speak now. Otherwise, Gauri Gopika Mataji.
I'm ready.
Oh, yes, Dhira Prabhu, we are very happy to see you. You are like our relative for all.
I'm honored. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So I'd like to start. My wife is here, but she's cooking very vehemently because it's almost noon and she wants to make a noon offering for Maharaj. So I'm going to start with her offering. It's a short one. Dear Srila Niranjana Swami, please accept my most humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your divine grace. You are brilliant as the sun, a gem, a jewel of a devotee, perfect example of a pure and saintly soul. We are blessed by Krishna's extra special mercy to have you in our lives, helping and leading us to achieve the real goal of life. You are firmly fixed at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, carefully following all his instructions with dedication. You are merciful and full of compassion, full of love and care for everyone. You humbly and tirelessly teach and lead us with your whole heart. I am full of gratitude and would like to thank you, Maharaj, for your kindness from the core of my heart. I am forever grateful to you for all your help in our lives. I humbly beg for your blessings. Please forgive my shortcomings. Thank you for all you do to spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya, and may you always get his blessings to continue just as you're doing, with firm conviction, faith, and love for the Lord and Srila Prabhupada. Your humble servant, Kalindi Devi Dasi. Haribo. Maharaj folded his hands. Hare Krishna. So I also wrote something. I'm not that expert at spontaneity. It kind of gets disjointed. So I figured I better do something here. Dear Srila Niranjana Swami Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your feet on the auspicious occasion of your Transcendental Appearance Day. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I feel excited to share my appreciation for your unlimited good qualities, friendship, and kindness to me over the years. The Nectar of Devotion describes the 6 qualities that will guarantee advancement in Krishna consciousness if adopted by the aspirant. Utsaha nishaya dharya tat karma pavartanat sangatyaga sato vritte sadhir bhaktir prasidhyati. Translation, there are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. 1, being enthusiastic. 2, endeavoring with confidence. 3, being patient. 4, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, or hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and 6, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Dear devotees, I believe Maharaj personifies this verse. He is always enthusiastic to preach Krishna consciousness and jumps at every opportunity to enlighten others on practical means to spread the glories of the holy name. He has for many years been willing to take on any sacrifice, even at his own discomfort and inconvenience, perhaps like tonight for him. It must be getting pretty late there. But he's helping out all others on their paths. His blissful, melodious kirtans are, of course, legendary. He is expert at mridanga, harmonium, and joyful chanting of the holy name, which soothes the heart of devotees and brings out our own love for Krishna. He has unflinching faith in the spiritual master and Krishna. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasya ite katitha hyarta prakashante mahatmanaha. But he is very patient with all of us, always ready to help, just waiting for us to become purified enough to be of any use to the mission of spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. He's not interested in the mundane association of materialists, yet is ready at any time to help anyone interested in purifying their own hearts and motives on the path of bhakti. He's very humble, in spite of taking on many positions of high responsibility within Srila Prabhupada's mission. Once, after a particularly delicious Sunday feast at the Boston Temple, all the devotees were completely stuffed and tired. I think it was a Janmashtami. I went down to the kitchen for some reason, and there was Maharaj washing the pots by himself. The entire kitchen looked like a war zone. It was very late. I asked Maharaj to go take rest, assuring him that I would finish the pots, although I was also very tired. He refused, telling me that he was attached to the service, as he had done it as a young brahmachari and always loved doing it. Of course, I had to pitch in and help out, even though tired, and we blissfully cleaned the whole scene until all pots and utensils were put away, stove and counters cleared, floor swept and mopped. It must have been about midnight before we finally took rest, exhausted, but feeling very blissful. Maharaj was, there wasn't Janmashtami, but I don't know what it was, some festival. Maharaj was up very early the next morning for Mangal Arati. He never missed, no matter feeling well or not. When I related the story to the other Boston devotees, I heard many similar pastimes from the other devotees' presence, even from the beginning at the acquisition of the temple, building the altar, helping install the beautiful parquet flooring, so many services Maharaj has done. We can't even understand how many services he's done over the years. Srila Prabhupada requested his disciples to preach vigorously, just as he had done. Maharaj, you are a wonderful example of a devotee who has taken this type of instruction to heart fully. You're always preaching, trying to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Back in '86 at the Mayapur festival, I expressed my fatigue with beating my head against the wall out on book distribution with people who weren't interested. And I wanted to move into contact Sankirtan and congregational development. So Maharaj told me he had been looking for someone to help with this service and already had a database developed of people who had contacted our movement in some form or another. He very kindly invited me to join him in this service at Boston. When I took him up on his kind offer, he gave me all facility in Boston Temple, sharing his database, allowing me to purchase a computer, and encouraging me to pursue this vehemently, including any help I needed, a vehicle, even a private room as needed for my work. This also included his having to push me a little bit due to my own weakness and unsteadiness in my service. I always admire how much he looks after and cares for all the devotees. Maharaj, I'm remembering all our travels in your camper today. We visited so many devotees and members, not only in New England, but all over the country. I cherish those memories as well as hearing from you today the ecstatic pastimes of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. I'm eternally grateful for your kind friendship, guidance, and mercy upon this very fallen soul. I pray that you will always remain healthy, prosperous, and totally blissful in Krishna consciousness. I beg to remain your eternally grateful servant, Dhira. So I also wanted to just share a couple things. One thing was that my wife relayed to me when I was in the hospital under heavy sedation after having a heart attack recently. I didn't know that Maharaj, you had been talking about me in the Zoom classes. And anyway, she says you were glued to WhatsApp trying to get updates on what was going on with me. When I, under heavy sedation, finally was able to speak something, it was very faint. And I was really, I wasn't very conscious, but the first thing I said was Niranjana Swami. Niranjana Swami. And she said I was very emphatic saying Niranjana Swami. So you were also looking for me and trying to find out about me. You were concerned for me. So that heart connection I felt was very strong at that time between us. And I want to thank you, Maharaj, for gifting Radha Madan Gopal to us at the time of a marriage. Actually, they came to visit me in the hospital, and it was a nice surprise to see their lordships come into my hospital room, and I got to worship them there in the hospital. It was really wonderful. So only because of your kindness do we have their lordships. They're the life and soul of our household life, and we are forever grateful to have you and them in our lives. Also, I want to thank you for sending the nectar of lockdown. I was still very much out of it, but felt that maybe I could read. So the first book I asked for was that book. And Kalindi brought it to the hospital for me, and I read the whole book in the hospital. So that was wonderful. Really well written and wonderful book. And I'm very grateful for it. So I want to thank you for all your help and prayers for me. We're so grateful for all the days that we shared in Boston, and kindness you showed me and facility you gave me. You're always a thoughtful, loving, caring devotee. So thank you, Maharaj. I can't express enough gratitude, but I want to thank also all the devotees for giving this opportunity and organizing this Vyasa Puja for Maharaj. So, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear Prabhu, so much for your friendship. I have to tell the devotees one thing. I think they should know about it. There's never been a god brother that I've allowed to wash my feet, except Dhira. Every time I come, he won't take no for an answer.
No, you don't have a choice in that.
I have no choice. He pulls out the bowl, he pulls out the water, he pulls off my socks, he pushes me down in the seat gently, and immediately begins washing my feet and massaging them like nobody else has ever done. And I've never let anybody else do it, but you're such a friend, besides a god brother, that I cannot refuse. So I think devotees should know that.
Thank you also for that special privilege, Maharaj. I need all the purification I can get, so thank you.
Hare Krishna, so nice to see you.
Happy Vyasa Puja, Maharaj.
Thank you. Nice to see Kalindi.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Haribol.
Haribol. Glories to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dhira Prabhu, and thank you for participating in Japa sessions. And I think each of us would like to be these first words after Koma Niranjana Swami. Thank you. And I would like to ask Rasanath Prabhu to speak, and this will be a final offering for today.
Now, do you hear me?
Yes, everything is perfect.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for disturbance. Dear Guru Maharaja, please accept our humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The year 2020 will remain memorable to all of us for two reasons. The devastations of human lives because of COVID-19, and that because of COVID-19, we could receive your causeless mercy in your oral reception to your nectarian readings from Brihad Bhagavatamrita by His Holiness Srila Sanatana Goswami and other associated literature for months after months. Some people may consider us as selfish, but this is the Leela of Sri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON to instill love for and understanding of Sri Krishna in the minds of human beings deluded by Mahamaya. Because of Mahamaya again, many are remaining entrenched into the social blur of IS, International Society only. They are remaining bereft of the knowledge, information, and depth of Krishna consciousness, that is KCON, KCON, part of ISKCON. You are few of the staunch followers of Srila Prabhupada who brought the culture of Gauriya Vaisnava flair of love and reverence for Sri Krishna by leading one to the path of numerous devotional literatures created by the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and their followers. You, by way of your natural inclination, sweet humors, and concentration, like a bundle of laser beam, you are helping us focus our visions and activities to the path of Krishna consciousness as wished by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, your Guru Maharaja. We remain very grateful to you, Gurudeva. We feel immensely blessed that you provided us with shelters to remain under the umbrella of your Guru Maharaja. And we pray to Sri Krishna that you remain as our guide and shelter for days, months, and years to come, irrespective of the darkness of any global pandemic or the sunshine of healthy, joyful human living. We remain obliged to you for your essential care and your kindness. Haribol, your servants, Rasanath Das and Saci-sundari Devi Dasi. That is the end of my offering. But in addition, I'll just add thanks to the organizers for organizing. This is some kind of thing which is the first time, and hope this could continue, with gradual improvements. It has been very helpful. Thank you very much, everybody. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rasanath Prabhu. So this is the end of our offerings for today, and tomorrow we will continue at 2:30 p.m. Indian time or 12 Moscow time. And thanks to all the devotees, and thanks to Guru Maharaj for creating such a wonderful family of devotees, such a wonderful mood. And maybe you would like to speak something.
Where's the feedback coming from?
So now no feedback.
I just wanted to know where is the when I went to the website for the preparations, nothing was there.
Yes,
So
yes.
Is it there yet, or should I
Yes.
wait till tomorrow?
No, everything is there. It was soon after we started final session, but we didn't want to disturb you. So,
I see. So I can go there after we end the session.
yes, yes,
And you said tomorrow everything begins at 2:30 p.m. India time.
yes. Mhm.
Okay.
And it
All
will
right.
be shorter, only 2 sessions tomorrow.
2 sessions tomorrow.
Mhm.
I think I said everything during my talk. I'm not. I already extended my gratitude to the organizers and to all the devotees who were involved in all the backup work that was required. And I don't feel that anything else I have to add to the message I tried to give in my talk earlier today. I believe that everything that I needed to say has already been said. And tomorrow, it's getting late. Tomorrow I will definitely be ready at 2:30 p.m. India time. And I'm now about to go to the website and to look at the 108 preparations online. And it's a good thing it's online because it's after 10 o'clock. If I were to honor it any other way besides with my eyes, I would have reflux all night. So it's a good way to honor it. And I don't know what I'll find there, but I guess I'll be surprised, and I'll wait for the surprise, much in the way as I was already surprised with the other participants who came on this evening, such as Pyari Mohan Prabhu and my sister, Dhira Prabhu. I didn't expect Yadubar Prabhu. Also didn't expect everyone to participate. And I'm also very grateful that Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj came and Madhavananda Prabhu spoke in a very moving way, and I'm very grateful that he came on, participated. And Achyuta Priya, I definitely didn't think he would be there. And it was just, I was very moved by his talk. We have served together for over 30 years now. It's actually almost 32 years now. And it's as Devamrita Maharaj has oftentimes commented that it's hard to find a team of a GBC and a local leader who's been able to work together for so long. But same with Pyari Mohan Prabhu. We've worked together for, well, I guess 40 years, worked together. Of course, we served together for longer than that. So it's been very, very wonderful seeing all these other devotees. And I thank the devotees for encouraging them to take part. And Devamrita Maharaj also, I will have to call him tomorrow and chastise him. I can't chastise him, he's my superior. But just tell him that it wasn't necessary for him to write an offering in any way, shape, or form. But nonetheless, I'm very grateful. He's also a very, very dear friend that every night I pray to. I have my list of God brothers that I pray every night, and Devamrita Maharaj is also on that list. And I'm just very grateful that I have, as I mentioned to Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj, I'm very grateful that I have friends, that friendship is a form of shelter. And I'm very grateful to have disciples who are very lovingly assisting me and remembering that there's nothing more dear to me than pleasing Srila Prabhupada. And if you can remember that, you'll always make me very happy. So that's my final message for today.
Okay, so can we finish in the traditional way?
Everybody chanting together?
Yes, 3 times.
Definitely. If you can turn on the microphones, I guess. Should we?
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Rama.